Out of everything he has promised, cajoled, mentioned, and whined about over the last 7 years, President Barack Obama may have last night hit on the one completely and undeniably impossible thing to change: fixing the political system and ending the suspicion between political parties. Now, recent studies have shown that passing an elephant through the eye of a needle would be easier, along with finding intelligent life inside a Kardashian household. We, of course, choose to find our answers in a much more logical manner. Saddle up for another ride with the political animal, then, where left meets right and the comments fly with ease. From the right, she is the senior contributor at the Federalist, D.C. McAllister. From the left, executive director of the Travis County, Texas Democratic Party and Democratic strategist, J.D. Ginz. Want to thank you both for joining us. And D.C., I'm going to go ahead and begin with you. The president says we need to change the rancor and suspicion between parties. Honestly, though, how do you do? We could go on for days here talking about this, but what's the first step to do that, to stop this hatred between the parties?
Well, he can stop causing it. I mean, the fact that he said this and made himself sound out to be a victim and all this, that there's such rancor on both sides, and he's just been trying to make peace this whole time as a joke. I mean, he reminds me of an abusive boyfriend I had once, who every time there was a conflict, he masterfully would turn it around and blame me for everything. I mean, that's the kind of thing that Obama does, but he's been the most polarizing president ever. He's intentionally engaged in identity politics, especially matters of race. He's the one who said, hey, when they bring a knife to the fight, we bring a gun. He's demonized everyone who disagrees with him on gun control, climate change, Obamacare, same-sex marriage. I mean, he's the one who's been the polarizing, conflicting figure in this. And if he wants change, it needs to start with him. He needs to look in the mirror.
Okay, well, he's going to be gone soon. So, J.D., let me come to you. And instead of just saying that D.C. is wrong, give me your solution.
Well, I think what he said last night made sense in that, maybe the Republican Party needs to start living in reality. When the Russians went to space first, we didn't deny that Sputnik was orbiting the Earth. And I think that gets to kind of the heart of the matter. The Republican Party was ready to obstruct anything Obama did and has made that be their mantra. They haven't offered up much in exchange as far as what their vision is, and they've blamed Obama. But right now, we have an opportunity to move forward. And so I think for the future, having a grip on reality will certainly help do it from the Republican Party. But right now, you see that rancor that's kind of dividing the Democrats versus the Republicans. See that dividing the Republican Party itself, and it's really just pretty sad to watch.
All right, let's talk about rancor of a different kind here. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley delivers the response last night. She urges her own party to resist the temptation to follow the siren call of the angriest voices. From the left, J.D., what did you think of it? Did you think maybe she kind of tried to cut the difference here and try to be sensible, or did she move a little too far to the left?
No, I don't think she's that. It's a stretch to say she's from the left, but I think it's clear that the Republican Party knows they have a big problem. You have a whole bunch of people that are in the Republican primary that thinks that even though half of their own party can't stand the people they're putting forward, that's the best option for them to win the general election. And everybody, including the Democratic Party, the Republican Party establishment, most people know you put forward Donald Trump, you put forward Ted Cruz, we're going to win in a landslide. And so I think Nikki Haley is trying to say, hey, let's just let this play out. Let's let sensible voters win the day, and let's certainly not shoot ourselves in the foot in January.
So, D.C., she comes out and makes her comments, and some conservatives are going after. And as a matter of fact, quite frankly, I think some of them are going a little too far overboard here. And I wanted to get your comment on this. Ann Coulter's response to Nikki Haley's response came in the form of a tweet, and it was downright nasty. It said, Donald Trump should deport Nikki Haley. Do you go with this, and do you think she went too far?
I think she went too far. I think Ann Coulter is very passionate about immigration, but it's become her only issue, and I don't think she's looking at other things objectively. And I think that was wrong of her to do that tweet. I don't think it was productive at all in the conversation. But as far as the anger goes, I mean, I think that there is definitely anger, not just on the right, but it's on the left as well. So just to blame this on the Republicans or on the right and say we're the only ones who are angry in this country, that's just not true. You see it at Bernie Sanders rallies as well, and you see it in Black Lives Matter. You see a lot of anger on both left and right. And so when Nikki Haley's talking about like downplaying the anger, that's fine, but you have to address the cause of the anger. And the cause of the anger is that we've sent people to Washington on the left and the right, and they have not done the jobs that they need to do. And it isn't because there's just obstruction from the right. There have been proposals put forth by Republican congressmen, and Obama just doesn't listen. He doesn't want to listen, so he's got his pen on the phone, and he's just going to do what he wants to do. And it seems like Hillary Clinton will do more of that. She won't listen to the people. She'll rule by her own will.
All right, 90 seconds to go here. I want to get to Jeb Bush. I mentioned in the Republicans, and this in Politico, saying they are warning Jeb Bush against harming Marco Rubio. Now, this comes as the last day of a 5-day rolling poll conducted by Reuters show that Jeb Bush has moved into third place in the race for the nomination. Trump, Cruz, and then Jeb Bush. All right, J.D., bring it in from the left right here. Is Jeb Bush not dead? I mean, he is the phoenix here, it would seem, and he's still got some life.
Well, he's still got millions of dollars, that's for sure, and voters haven't even voted yet. So as much as people on the right have really wanted to just say he's done, let's go further right, Jeb is out, I don't think you can count anybody out right now. I'm one of those rare politicos that really am just looking forward to what the voters actually say in some of these elections. I'm tired of hearing myself talk and others talk about it. And I think it's too soon to tell for sure. And we're about to have a real picture of who's in and who's out as soon as the voters go. So I think after Iowa, after New Hampshire, we'll know whether he's still in the hunt. But I think they're also being smart in saying we shouldn't tear ourselves apart in this election. Jeb Bush shouldn't beat up Marco Rubio too much. Marco Rubio probably shouldn't tear down Jeb Bush too much, or they're going to end up with Donald Trump, and they don't want that.
Okay, 20 seconds to you, D.C. Rand Paul blames the GOP for taking him off the main debate stage Thursday night, and he is angry. What do you think?
He's very angry. There was a poll in Iowa that has him as 5th, and so that was before all the decision was being made, so I think he has a point.
Okay, real quick, who do you think may disappear after Thursday night? D.C., give me one person you think has to do something great to live.
Fiorina.
Fiorina, okay. J.D.?
Carly, I agree.
Okay, well, Carly's already on the junior stage, too, so she is that one step out from going here. We'll see what the rest do on the main stage. J.D. Ginz, D.C. McAllister, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining us. Old adage in the Republican Party, compare yourself to the great communicator at your own peril. Donald Trump doesn't believe anybody does it better than him. That's coming up next, and we continue right here on the fastest 60 minutes in news, The Hard Line.